my name's Kizzy, welcome to my channel. I'm just gonna get right into it. This week is a slightly different video. If you can't tell, I've got a bit of a cold. So I just thought I'd sit down and have a chat with you and recap over January. Full transparency, I actually recorded this just before the weekend, but stupid me, as I was exporting it, managed to delete the whole thing. So we're gonna do it again because I am going to stick to my goals this year and post on YouTube like I said I would, as we'll get into. So this week's video, we're going to talk about my 2026 goals. But I didn't make any 2026 goals. I made a 2026 checklist, which I'll also pop on the screen so you can see. 1 month down, 11 to go. I say I haven't set goals. They are goals. But I'm saying that it's a checklist so that in my brain, it doesn't feel like I'm stretching towards something. It just feels like I'm going about my life and I'm becoming the person I want to become. Sounds a bit cringe, but I don't think there's anything wrong with self-improvement, so let's jump straight into it. First thing on my list this year is to go to 26 gigs, and that's not including work-related things. So if you don't know me, my job is a tour manager, so I look after artists and get them to their shows basically. So as you can imagine, when I'm at a festival, I do have a bit of time to go and see other artists. However, because I'm in work mode, I don't feel like I'm really enjoying it as much, or just the last couple of years, I don't really feel like I've really loved going to gigs, even ones that haven't been necessarily work related. I can't actually think of any gigs I went to last year that weren't like work related. I didn't go to any festivals. I was supposed to go to Boomtown, but I had to cancel that. Did I go to any gigs last year? I digress. So to go to 26 gigs a year, I have to go to 2 gigs a month on average. Did I go to 2 gigs or more this month? No, I only went to 1, but it's January, so I feel like there's not really much going on. I don't really have any money to go to any gigs right now. But I did manage to go to 1. I went to go see Dijon in London. Have I immediately found my love for live music again? I don't know. If you're new here, I broke my arm in August, which a lot of these goals revolve around that now. The place where I broke my arm was my humerus, so it's not just a simple case of wait 6 weeks for it to heal, it will go back to normal. It's quite a big healing time. When I first broke my arm, they said 12 to 18 months, so it's been December. It's been 5 months, so I'm nearly halfway through my healing process. There's still a few things I can't do, and one thing I think I'm still a bit scared of is crowds. I think being in a crowd, like someone knocking it or pushing me back, that does still really hurt. So I don't feel like I fully immersed myself in the show. I was stood at the back, but I still had a really good time and I did really enjoy it, and I do think if I was maybe a little bit further forward, I probably would have enjoyed it a bit more. I've wanted to see Dijon for a long time, so that was a really good show for me. Moving on, my next goal was to read 10 books. Technically, I've read 1 book already this year. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you might be aware that I'm reading ACOTAR at the moment. So I finished the first book about a week into Jan, and now I'm about 200 pages through the second book, and I'm really enjoying it. So naturally, I feel like I'm probably going to read all 5 of those books this year. And then I'm not actually huge on fantasy, or, well, fiction in general. I'm not really a huge fiction person. I actually much prefer self-improvement books. I do find it quite hard to fall into a book and like fully know what's going on. So that's where I'm at with my reading. I don't have a to-be-read list this year apart from those 5, and then I got a few books for Christmas. So I feel like 10 books is achievable. I did 9 last year, and my goal was 10 last year. But the fact I've already read 1 book in January is pretty good for me. I'm not really a get cozy and read. I'm very much a lay in the sun and read person. So when I'm in Oz next week, hopefully I'll do a lot of reading and I'll finish my book, and then I'll be 2.5 books in by the end of Feb. We'll see. Next on my list is just the word sober. I know when you set goals or write a checklist, things are supposed to be a bit more definitive, but this is one of the ones that I didn't really want to put a time on it. I just kind of wanted to go into it, no pressure, see how I feel, see how I get on. I feel like saying I'm going sober is quite extreme. Maybe that's what I'm doing, I don't know. We'll reflect maybe a bit further down the line. But for now, I did dry Jan. As I'm recording this and as I'm uploading this, it's the 3rd of Feb. And I still haven't had a drink. I think a lot of my friends were under the impression, and Will, my boyfriend, was under the impression that I was just doing dry Jan. But I feel really good in myself. Okay, I've got a bit of a cold right now, but like physically and mentally, I just don't really want to have a drink. And I think I drank so much over Christmas. The start of last year when I was travelling, we were drinking beer every day. Like, I mean every day. I probably threw up on that trip. I probably threw up on that trip from a hangover over 15 times, which in the space of 3 months, that's a lot of times to be being sick. And I don't think my relationship with alcohol is that bad to the point where I can't give it up and I don't know when to stop. I just think a lot of the time I do just kind of say F it, and I do just take it too far. And I think especially towards the later part of last year, I did that a few too many times. And I think I got to the point where one day I was like throwing up because I had drunk so much. Like I blacked out. I don't even want to think about it. That was in October, and I had a little bit of a break in November, but then straight back on it in December. And I feel like my body just needs a break. I've got a lot of fitness goals. I've got a lot of physical goals, especially like with my arm now. And I'm going to see how it goes. At the moment, I'm loving it. Who knows what the summer holds? Who knows how I'm going to feel when I'm in Australia? Maybe I'll see a beer that I want to try. I think the longest I've gone is 3 months without a drink, but that was a couple years ago now. So I don't really mind being in social situations where alcohol's involved, but I'm not drinking. I think it says a lot more about the person I'm with if they feel uncomfortable than if I feel uncomfortable. I'm not judging you for being drunk. I'm not judging you for having a drink. I think, you know, do what you want. I'm just saying I don't want to do that. And I know it's fun. Like, I know it's fun. And like, yeah, I kind of want to be a bit tipsy and whatever. But I've got goals I want to hit first. And I think I'll feel a lot prouder knowing that I was more disciplined. I just want to see how far I can go with it. Which also kind of brings me to the next one. At some point this year, I don't really know when just yet because of touring and work, I really, really, really want to do the 75 hard. I'd planned to do it, literally, I was going to start it on the 1st of September because I had 75 days off. But what did we do? We broke our arm on the 30th of August. And I was so upset. I think I did it at my friend Caitlin's birthday party, which I think I've probably already said. But she called me like 3 days after to be like, how are you doing? And I honestly broke down on the phone. And I think she took that as a personal attack. It wasn't. I hadn't told anyone that I was going to do it either. I think a lot of the time, even now, I try and hold myself accountable for things by telling other people that I'm going to do them, which is kind of why I'm checking in on this list now, is that so I don't forget about it and I hold myself accountable. But yeah, I never told anybody that I was going to do that. And I was even more upset about the fact I broke my arm because I'd set myself that goal and it had just been taken away from me. And it was nobody's fault. Like, it was nobody's fault. But it was just one of those things that was just so annoying. And I never have 75 days in a row where I'm not touring and I'm not really working. I didn't have any work at the bar planned, I don't think, or not much. And I kind of had enough money to kind of get through and do it. And I just couldn't do it. And I was so upset. This year's the year I'm going to do it. I'm hoping again, maybe some big tours come in towards the end of the year / in the summer, so I have 75 days off, because I don't think I can do the 75 hard on tour. I kind of thought about starting it at the start of January, and then I was like, no, you're literally flying to Australia in mid-Feb. How can you do the 75 hard when you're going to be on a plane for 24 hours? Like, that takes away a whole day. And then I thought about like, oh, well, I could do 76, spread it over 76 and like not count the fly days. But with shows and stuff, like, it just wasn't going to work out. So I feel like it takes a lot of planning, and I'm willing to do that planning. When I do that planning, time will tell. But obviously, I have not contributed towards that this month. And that's okay. The next one is go to the cinema 12 times. I love the cinema. I went to go see Marty Supreme. I spoke about it in a previous vlog. If you haven't already watched it, go back and watch it. That film is incredible. So yeah, cinema trip once a month is high on the list of things to do this year. The next one, another thing I want to do 12 times, I want to write 12 songs this year. I think that is a bit of a stretch, if I'm being honest. I didn't write a song in January. So now I've got to write 12 songs in 11 months. Who knows, maybe I'll have a big brainwave over the summer, but I'm not saying I'm giving up just yet, but we'll see. Maybe 10 songs. No, I'm already coughing out. No, we're going to write 12 songs this year, and we're going to record one song this year. Whether that be one of those 12 songs or an old one, I don't know. Basically, I really want to get back into music this year. Those of you that don't know me, I did a music degree and I graduated in 2019, which is so long ago now. So I just feel so out of touch with it. I think that kind of relates to the going to gigs one, is I just want to like get back into it. The next few goals are travel based. So the first one was go to Copenhagen, which If you didn't see my travel vlog, I went to Copenhagen, so I've ticked that off my scratch map. When I was first making this list, I kind of wanted to go to 12 new countries, but I've already been to 34 countries, which is mad. Or I think 33 before I went to Copenhagen. Most of those are European ones, so if I'm going to tick somewhere new off, I kind of have to go quite far, which is obviously quite expensive. So I think saying I'm going to go to 12 new countries was a bit of a stretch. So I've been a bit more realistic, and I've also put I want to go to Croatia, Australia, already booked, and Greece. Haven't booked that, but I think the plan is for Will and I to go to Greece somewhere in Greece for our anniversary in September, so got a lot of time to save. And this isn't on the list, but I would also love to go to Morocco in December this year, or Iceland, or both. I don't know, we'll see. The travel bug has bitten me. I just need the money to get there. The next one is kind of to do with money, actually. Well, the next one is to do with money. My next goal is to save £50 a month in a stocks and shares ISA. When I wrote this, I hadn't really done any research on saving money, but I'd like to think I've contributed towards this tick, because even though I didn't save £50 in a stocks and shares ISA this month, I have started saving £25 a month in premium bonds. Don't have loads of money right now. Like I said, it's January, work isn't flowing, but hopefully as the year averages out, I will have saved £25 a month in premium bonds, and then £50 a month in stocks and shares ISA. If I'm thinking about it now, I'm probably thinking I want to save £25 a month in premium bonds, £50 a month, which I'm probably not going to start saving until June, so £100 a month. Might be a stretch, but I'm going to try. £100 a month in a stocks and shares ISA. I'm also saving £20 a week in a lifetime ISA. I'm not like holding myself to the lifetime ISA one, but apparently they're scrapping the lifetime ISA, so I wanted to start just in case I needed it. The next one's all fitness and health based. Well, the next one's all fitness based. First three are running. I want to run a sub 30-minute 5k, run a 10k, and run a half marathon. I've run a 10k once before. I ran 12k. That was such a good day, and I injured myself because I didn't really know what I was doing. And that's okay, I've learned from it. I'm doing the post-injury workout plan on Runner. I did a run today, not part of the January checklist, so I probably shouldn't talk about this too much. You'll see about it in next week's vlog. But oh my god, dead. I wanted to come off the pill so I could train within my cycle, but training in your luteal phase is hell. I am learning. The next one, as I have said 1,000 times, I broke my arm. My goal last year was to also bench 60 kilograms. I now can bench the bar. Well, actually, I can bench 25 kilograms. The goal this year is to bench 50 kilos. If I can get myself back up to 60, or not back up, if I can get myself back up to the goal of 60, slay. My PB is 45, so we'll see. To be fair, I think I'm already kind of ahead. I couldn't bench at the start of the year. Like, I've started benching this year, and I feel like I'm back at zero. I was basically back at zero. If you've watched my previous videos, you will know that I started with floor press, and then I started benching 15 kilograms, which led up to 25 kilograms last week, which I am enthralled about, to be honest. I'm halfway to my goal already. I know that the progress isn't super linear. Linear? Is that the right word? Like, where it just goes, like it will have peaks and troughs. But 50k by the end of the year, I've just got double what I'm doing now. And I feel like a lot of it isn't particularly it's not strength in certain muscles that I'm used to. I just have a really stiff rotator cuff. So I feel like once I fix those little muscles and woken them up from being in a sling, then we should be back on track. And hopefully I'm praying that my training pays off and I get my 50k. So I feel like I'm making good progress with that. Another money-based one, I'm not going to talk too much about this one, but I want to pay off my credit cards. I'm in my mid/late 20s. I have a little bit of credit card debt. I've spoken to a lot of friends about this, and it's pretty normal, unfortunately. But the goal this year is to sort that out. I've paid off one, so I'm pretty happy. And obviously, as I mentioned earlier, I'm still trying to save money at the same time. So I'm making good progress, and I'm happy with my progress this month. The next one, so at the end of last year, also kind of to do with money, I guess, is I've been thinking about my career and what I want to do with my life, and I love being a tour manager so much. Like, even now not being on tour, I tend to get pretty comfy at home. I love living with Will, and I love the life that we're building together. And I love like being around family and friends. But with my job, I rip myself out of that and throw myself into work for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, I think is the longest stretch I've done at a time. Which, you know, when you're trying to build relationships, buggering off for 2 weeks every month or 6 weeks a few times a year, that can create a strain on relationships and friendships. And I'm very lucky that Will's very patient. He probably loves the break, let's be honest. When I'm not on tour and he's not at work, we're together 24/7. As much as I love being a tour manager, I don't think it's sustainable for the rest of my life. And as Gen Z might know, we're probably going to be working forever. So I've kind of been thinking about other routes I can take. And as much as I want to be a musician and do all of that as well, I think it would be good to have some kind of online business. So I thought about the things I enjoy and my hobbies and what I find interesting. And I kind of stumbled upon maybe the career of being a personal trainer. But I'd at least like to do the course and learn if it's maybe the right career for me. I don't know. I've done a little bit of research, and from what I can see, I think it's a little bit daunting, but I think I could do it and I think I'd enjoy it. So we'll see. But yeah, once I've paid off my credit cards and I've got a little bit of money saved, I'd like to spend that money qualifying as a personal trainer. Speaking of being at home, the next couple are house-based. I want to paint the bedroom. As you can see, I want to sort this wall out as well. This isn't actually on the list, but I guess this is classed as paint the bedroom. Will and I have a bright orange bedroom. He painted it that colour the week before we met. I don't even think he likes it. Next on my list is to start a junk journal. I've just ordered my free prints. I kind of want to do a monthly recap, kind of like what I'm doing on YouTube now. So I've sent my free prints off. They should come tomorrow, and I'm going to spend the afternoon scrapbooking. Kayla and I started our scrapbook for our trip last year, 6 months after we got back, and we still haven't finished it. So I'd also like to get that done and just be a bit more analog with my scrapbooking and things like that. Oh, another fitness one. I've written this list in such a weird order. I probably should have rearranged it before I started reading it out. But another fitness one, I want to go to 10 different park runs. Haven't been to a park run yet this year. I'm kind of hoping I can go to one on Saturday. If it's absolutely peeing it down, I'm probably not. But we'll see. I ran my first sort of 5K today on my running plan. I did 20 minutes of running, 3-minute walk, and then another 20 minutes of running. They've just added a park run in my town, so that's 1. And then the park run I normally go to is in the next town over, that's 2. So I want to go to 8 other park runs. And I feel like over the summer when I'm home, I'll probably go to a park run every week. No progress on that one this month, but stay tuned. The last 4 things on my list are all social media based. I feel like I'm sinking as I'm doing this video. I'm sat on a cushion and I feel like I'm just getting further and further down. The last ones on my list are all social media based. Part of me thinks that these are quite ambitious, but I also feel like if I'm consistent, I have the ability to do it. And I also feel like I'm saying that because I'm also trying to convince myself that. So if you are watching this video, or you've seen any of my other videos, and you're enjoying the content, or even if you have constructive criticism, I will take it. I'm really, really, really enjoying making the vlogs. This I find a little bit scary, but I do also feel pretty pro with my little light and my little tripod making a YouTube video, sitting down and chatting. So please, 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 if you are here and you have watched more than one of my videos, please say hi in the comments because it means so much to me. Someone commented on one of my first videos and I was talking about it for a week to all my friends. So my goals is to post 50 YouTubes, which is why I'm re-recording this video after I literally spent 2 hours making it. It's because I want to be consistent and I really want to just be consistent with it and see how it goes. I want to post a TikTok every day, which I think I skipped 1 day in January. I feel like I was posting and posting and posting. The kind of content I want to create is more travel based, which when I'm not traveling, it's quite hard to post travel content. I'm hoping that I can just make a batch whilst I'm in Oz and see how it goes. The followers of that, I'm kind of hoping I can reach 5k on TikTok and 500 subscribers on YouTube. If I get to that, I'll be so happy. So happy. And that concludes my video this week. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, please give it a thumbs up and comment. Let me know what your goals are this year. I'd love to know. I'd love to be inspired. And I'll be back with a vlog next week. Bye.